Hello guys, welcome to today's lesson where we're going to be doing some examples off of Deltamath, and the section is called Finding the Slope Graphically. I do find a lot of students have issues with this, so please pay close attention to the way I do things because Deltamath is definitely picky on this, but it's a great resource. So just make sure that you are paying very close attention to the way I do this. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with this example where it says, draw a line representing the rise and a line representing the run of the line. State the slope of the line in simplest form. So let's go ahead and define what slope is real quick. So slope is the rate of change. I know some teachers define it this way. It is the change in y divided by the change in x. Okay, but when we're looking at a graph, the most helpful one is to use the rise over run. So let me write it right here. Rise divided by run. Rise over run. And what that means is the rise is telling us you're starting at 2 points. So remember this, you start with 2 points that are exactly on the graph. I wanted to do that. And what I mean by exactly on the graph is that they intersect very clearly. Like, for example, let's look at my graph. Oops. You start with this point right here. And then if you notice, this point isn't exactly at 1,7, so you can't use that one. And this point isn't exactly at that corner either, so you can't use that one. So you would use points that are exact. Like, for example, this point down here and this point right here, because it crosses exactly at a coordinate. So you start with 2 points that are exactly on the graph, and you measure the rise. How much does it go up or down? How much? And then you also measure, ooh, that gave me a fraction. How much does it go up or down, and how much does it go left or right? So on the bottom, we're talking about going left and right. All right, so let's go ahead and do that example on the graph. So we're going to start with rise. It says click twice to plot each segment. Click a segment to delete it. So let's go. We have to start with 2 points that are exact. So I'm going to click right there to say that I start with that point. And I want to connect it. I want to find the rise over run with the next point that's exact. If you notice, the next point that is exact, it's at 4.3. But you don't draw just the line like that. You have to draw the rise and the run. On this example, it went down 3. So notice how I clicked on the 8 and then clicked down 3, because that's what's going to get us to this point. And then to get us to this point, we're at 3. So I'm going to click again and I'm going to drag, click. And notice I drew my rise over run like that. And that's how you have to do it on Deltamath. Let's say I would have made a mistake. Notice how when I hover over it, I have that little symbol, the little red symbol. If you click the red symbol, it makes the line go away. You have to have the line drawn. So like if I don't have the line drawn, I can't erase it. So if you do make a mistake, just draw a line, hover over it, and erase it. There we go. So let's draw the rise over run. Notice I clicked, drag down because it goes from 8 to 3 and then from 0 to 4. So this is my rise and this is my run. So for this problem, we would say that the rise was, well, from 8 to 3, I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go down 5 units, and since I'm going down, that's -5. And then from here, now we're looking at the x's because it's the change in x. We go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer here would be -5 over 4. And notice that it is simplified because you cannot divide 5 and 4. Submit your answer. Yes. Yay, we got it correct. Let's go ahead and try another example. Okay? So here, again, it's asking us to find the slope. Take a minute and try to find the slope. All right, so we had to choose 2 points that were exactly on the edge, on the corner, however you want to describe it. Notice that like you can choose any points. I do want to emphasize that you can choose any 2 points. It doesn't matter as long as they are exact. So let's go ahead. I'm going to choose right here, -7, and I'm going to choose this point, -2, -5. Those two seem to be exact. Nowhere else is it exact. So I'm going to do the rise. And to get to this point, I have to go up 1, 2. So there's my rise. And then I have to do my run. Notice I clicked again to signify that I'm making another line. And then I clicked. So there's my rise over run. And the order doesn't really matter. I'll show you in just a minute. So let's do this problem real quick. So we went up 2, rise 2. I went up 1, 2. So my rise is 2. I'm going to put +2 just to say we went up, but you don't really need the positive. And then the run. The run is the change in x's. Again, we're looking at the x values. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I ran 5 to the right. If I move to the right, right is positive. So that's +5. So what's my slope? 2 over 5. Now, I want to show you that I could have chosen any other points. So let's do another point. Let's see. I'm going to go on this side. Let's say I'm going to choose this point, and I'm going to choose this point right here. Notice that you can do your rise going down, and then you could do it going over. It still gives you the same thing. It doesn't really matter as long as you're going up and down and then right and left. Make sure that you're consistent. If you start from here, you got to start from here to here. You can't start from here and then start from here when you count. A lot of students make a mistake with that. So let's do this one. We went down 2, so that would give us -2. And you're like, Miss Cortez, that seems different from what we got. We got -2. Well, watch this. We went down 2. Notice that I start here because that's where I'm at now. And then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is left 5. Left is negative. A negative and a negative give me a positive. So this is still the same answer. A lot of students get confused with this one because they say, well, I'm going down 2. And then they go over here and they say, and I'm going to the right 5. You can't start on both edges. You have to keep the order. So we went down 2, we're right here, and then went over. So let me show you another way. I just want to show you one more time. I could have done it like this, where I go this way, and then I go this way, like that. So here, let's say I started here. We went to the left 5, which would have been -5 on the run because I'm running left and right. So that's -5. And then I went down 2, so that would have been -2. And then again, you could have used any points. Again, I just want to emphasize that. I could have used this point and this point over here. So look at this. I'm going to connect them. And here it would have been to the left 10 units and down 4 units. So it would have been -4 over, notice that I'm just writing it a different way, -10, which would have been the same thing. All of these answers would have been the same thing because a negative and a negative is a positive. So the answer for this one is 2 divided by 5. All right, let's see. Very good. So, and look, they chose a different triangle from the one I chose. Just as long as you keep the order from where you start. Let's try one more. Go ahead and try this example. Again, the points don't matter. All right, so hopefully you tried this example. So here, I'm going to choose this point because I like to keep it in the positives just because the positives are easier for me. And another exact point, notice that I zoomed into the graph. Sometimes if you're using like a Chromebook, it's hard to see it, so just zoom in. So it's not exact there. It looks exact right there, actually. Yeah, right there. I guess it helped that I zoomed in. So I'm going to go up 1, and then I start from right there, and I went to the right 2. Up 1 is positive, right 2 is positive, so that is 1 over 2. So my answer here is 1/2. And again, if you would have chosen a different point, you would have just had to simplify the fraction. So if I would have chosen this point, and I was going to choose this point up here originally, I was going to choose this one because I hadn't seen the other one. Here, I would have had 2 over 4, which you would have had to simplify to 1/2. If you do not simplify it, it will count it wrong. And there we go. All right, guys, hopefully this video helped. And if it did, just give me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.